नमस्कार, फिर पैसा बोलता है में आपका स्वागत है। मैं आनंद श्रीनिवासन। आज कुछ दिन के बाद हम हॉट टेक्स करेंगे। मिंट और बिजनेस लाइन में जो कल परसों का और आज का न्यूज है उससे मेरे भाई कुछ बात करेंगे, मेरे राय मांगेंगे और उसका राय मैं दूंगा। ये प्रोग्राम तो इंग्लिश में होगा, अगर हो सकता है तो मैं एक दो जवाब को हिंदी में अनुवाद करूंगा। तो जाते हैं हॉट टेक के लिए। विनोद, यस।
Well, the news is all about the Indian market, and the Sensex 20-year long-term PE average is 20, and currently we are averaging at 24.8. And we are, out of all the major markets, India is the most richly valued right now. US is at 20, Taiwan is at 18, France is at 16, Japan is at 14. Everybody's under us except we are the ones sitting prettily on top. Even China is at 8. So do you think this is, and of course this kind of evaluation even was higher right before the Harshad Mehta scam and the dot-com bubble and the financial contagion happening in 2008. These kind of evaluations were there, then it led. But a lot of people are saying India deserves this kind of evaluation. We're on the right road. It's not a harbinger of doom. What do you think, Anand?
I don't think that these valuations are fundamentally justified. So, and this 20 long-term average is because last 10 years we have had very high PE. Otherwise, it will be somewhere between 15 to 18 or between 18 to 20. So, we have been extremely exuberant for some time in the last decade in the hope of something new will happen. In spite of three major shocks at these points of time when we had demonetization, COVID, and then we had GST. The market has ignored all that and has kept moving these valuations higher. What you are talking about, the Sensex and the Nifty, is essentially the large cap which has not performed so well. The real gain has come in mid cap and small cap stocks which have grown faster than the main index. So the real overvaluation is not in the main
Portfolio
market,
stock.
main Nifty and the Sensex which you referred to, but are in the mid cap and the
Small caps.
Small cap. And this mid cap and small cap outperformance is not driven by outsiders pouring in money, but by active mutual funds and especially in the small cap space putting in lot of money. They have put in lot of money because bank deposits have been very low when you actually compare to actual inflation on the ground. Though the inflation by RBI is only at 5.7 or 5.5, the ground level inflation that people are feeling, because this is on a basket of goods and the actual basket of goods is what somebody is consuming. The actual basket of goods on what somebody is consuming is definitely far higher than this. So when you deduct your 10% tax, which is refundable after 12 months, the amount of money that people make in deposits is very less. So people are piling money onto the stock exchange, directly to through mutual funds. And then there is another problem which I covered in my Tamil channel where I talk on current affairs, where Bloomberg did an article, editorial. This is Bloomberg abroad, which says that turnover in futures and options is several times cash, not one or two times, several times. I don't want to go into the exact number. So small traders are doing options and futures trading, primarily options trading. They write and sell options. They think money is very easy because the market is moving on one side. This is several times the actual cash market that is happening, which indicates that there is a huge element. People are now, the froth is there in the system. SEBI has now warned that this is SEBI's data, not my data. 9 out of 10 people are losing money in options trade.
Yes.
So when you want to do an options trade, you have to say, I understand that this is 9 out of 10 are losing money. Still, I want to do it. And still people are doing it.
That's like saying the cigarette packet, by consuming this, you might get cancer, putting photo of everything, and still smokers take it and still smoke.
So these numbers, which Bloomberg has put out and SEBI has acknowledged by this warning sign, and the fact that the small cap and the mid cap are running ahead of large cap clearly shows that our market is highly overvalued. Normally, the market cap of a country cannot be higher than the GDP of the country. We are way ahead of the GDP of the country. All these are flashing warning signs. But there is enormous liquidity sloshing around in the market, and there people have also borrowed to invest. There is leverage.
Correct.
Only now the Reserve Bank is cracking down on small loans.
Correct.
And also there was a study in the Economic Times which says that the salary is not rising as fast as inflation. So all these are warning signs. Now, whether the market will correct tomorrow or the market will remain here and be more buoyant depends on more liquidity. The current rally in the market is fueled by FII investments. This is because they feel that the Fed is going to cut rates 3 times next year.
But that's what he came out and said. No, he said
the damage is done. He has not come out and said. One of his trusted allies has said that, and the market has ignored it.
But they feel the reason why they said it is because secretly the Fed itself is expecting recession. To combat recession ahead of time, they're going to cut rates.
No, but they have not. I don't think a rate cut is possible till inflation comes down substantially further. Because publicly they have said that they will bring inflation to 2%. And that currently core inflation, which is the numbers they grow by, is at 3.5%. So a rate cut before March looks unlikely. The earliest a rate cut is going to happen is July.
July. Okay. The other part of this whole PE thing is, of course, earnings. They feel, the analysts feel, to maintain this kind of 24.8% PE ratio, they're expecting the best case scenario, corporate earnings to grow at a fast clip of 25 to 30%. Do you think that kind of thing will materialize?
It looks very difficult. See, the Sensex is primarily driven by the Bank Nifty, IT are the two major components of the Nifty. Now, bank interest rates have been tightened. Net interest margins have come down, and your lucrative lending has been stopped. Basically, credit cards and personal loans. So, the spread of the banks will come down in the coming quarters. I'm not saying it will end next quarter, but in the coming quarters, banks are not going to be able to make so much money as they have been making in the past. This is basically what Reserve Bank has said. And today, State Bank of India has said that they will go slow on personal lending. So, with all this in sector, where is there going? How will profits of banks grow at 25 to 30%?
The argument from the other...
So banks won't go at 30% because most of the bank Nifty is dominated by private sector banks. Private sector banks don't lend to corporates, they don't loan to SMEs. They lend only to retail salaried people. If they are lending to businessmen, it is loan against property. So you are not going to, they are going to, even if they rejig the business, you cannot rejig the business tomorrow in one quarter and expect 25% growth in earnings.
No, but their argument is, yes, that we are going through a K-shaped recovery.
I'm not talking of a K-shaped recovery.
One second. Let me get to my question.
Yeah.
Just give me a minute. Let me set it up, then you can answer. They're saying, yes, they're agreeing that we're going through a K-shaped recovery, and that segment of the population, which is in the echelon, which can afford to keep growing in this K-shaped recovery on the upper end of the K, is around 200 million Indians. Out of the 1.7 billion Indians, they're saying around 200 million Indians. They feel that the size of the population is substantial enough, and the wealth held by that population is enough to demand, while, like you said correctly, companies are pivoting towards addressing them, trying to lean on them harder, that this kind of earnings will come because of the size of the population.
No, I'm saying. नमस्कार, फिर पैसा बोलता है में आपका स्वागत है। जनवरी के महीने में मैं त्रिवेंद्रम आ रहा हूँ। त्रिवेंद्रम में आपसे मिलूंगा। जो भी मुझे त्रिवेंद्रम में मिलना चाहता है, नीचे दिए हुए जीमेल में trivandrummp@gmail.com में मेल भेजें और या नीचे दिए गए व्हाट्सएप नंबर में हमें संपर्क करें। धन्यवाद।